Hello everybody, this is John. I am doing a video now about showing off my Heroclix, Custom Heroclix collection. These are my DC figures in the collection, 20 in total, and I'm just going to go one by one through them, explain the inspiration for them, who made them, and how long I've had them. Started about 12 years ago collecting Custom Heroclix. It started off with Mike De La Paz. I'm not sure if you guys remember Mike. He used to make Custom Heroclix figures. He's moved on to action figures now, but he's really the first one that I saw a Captain Marvel on eBay that he had created, and that thing was gorgeous. I'm not sure who it is that picked it off. I stopped bidding at around $100. It got up somewhere around $300 to $400, which tells you how good that figure looked and how much people wanted it. From that point, I reached out to Mike and asked him about doing custom figures for myself, and he agreed. I've done quite a few. The bottom row here are all the figures that Mike did for me of my DC figures. After Mike moved on and stopped doing Custom Heroclix figures, I reached out to another creator, Goldie Hawn, and Goldie is very good. Goldie has taken up the mantle of Mike, and I believe is as good, if not better, than what Mike was doing during his peak. So let's go one by one and just look at a few of the figures that we have. First one here, as I said, all these bottom ones, these first 5 are done by Mike De La Paz. This one's Power Girl. This one was inspired by a comic book image that I found. I think I found it on DeviantArt or some art page on Facebook or on the internet itself, and sent the image to Mike. And what's cool about it is it just sent the image itself just went from the knees up. Didn't show any of the feet, any of this cloud or anything like that. The big thing was the cape. I liked the sweeping cape, how it looked. But Mike was able to extrapolate from just the image that I gave him and was able to make an entire figure just from that 3/4 picture. I mean, of course, obviously, he didn't show anything in the back, and Mike, all this stuff in the back that Mike did was just from his ability, his knowledge of human anatomy and such, and how Heroclix figures are put together. Now, it may look like paint's rubbed off on there and such, but that's actually silver, just silver highlights on it. Nice figure. I've got her on a Power Woman base right now. And as these go along, as we sets move along and retire and such, I'll if a new figure comes out and an old one retires, I'm able to pop these off at the bottom. You can see it's kind of on there. I got them super glued, but I don't have them on there too strong because I want to be able to pop them off and move them on to the next figure as the old ones retire. There's some that haven't been remade and I've had to leave them on older dials, but I like to move them on to new ones as the new ones come along. One of the first figures Mike made for me, actually I think this is the first figure that Mike made for me, was the Starfire, Princess Coriander here. This again was from a comic book image that I found on the internet. It was in a different kind of pose, but I like the way that Mike did it better with the arms behind her, kind of a free flying look to her, and the hair that he did, really pretty neat. I like how he uses like a glue, a glue thing, colors it, and actually when you put light behind it, it actually looks like it's glowing. He's got down to the details. It's kind of hard to see, but down to the details of the little belts and buckles and so on, and little designs of the boot. You see the designs on her armor, on her arms. And I've got her on a Starfire from Genesis. Nice looking figure. Now if you see, you can even see the little earrings that he made. Put those on there. The green eyes. He'll tilt it up a little bit and give you a look. That's awesome. And next we got a Wonder Woman. This also was from a comic book image. I was trying to figure out how was Mike going to be able to do the lasso. And if you've seen the video I did before, he used fishing line for a Havoc figure that I had purchased from him, and he did the same thing here. Pretty neat looking. Again, this too was from a comic book image, so obviously nothing in the back, so everything that he did on the back here with the cape, the ruffles and everything on the cape and the flowing of the hair and such, that's just all he did on himself. Tilt it a little, give you a better look at it. Good facial expressions. Nice work. Next up is Catwoman. Now this was not from a comic book image. This one was from a Kotobukiya statue. Mike also used the fishing wire for the whip, and as you can tell, I used this figure a lot in Heroclix games, and the paint is kind of worn off a little bit on the fishing wire. I'll have to give that a touch up. One thing I like it's really cool is the base. The Batman as a gargoyle. The statue itself has some cats on it, on the gargoyle part, just kind of hanging out with her. But Mike didn't want to put that on there. It was a little bit too, I don't know if it was too difficult, or he just wanted to highlight the figure and the gargoyle base rather than just slapping on some cats on there. Really great detail. Look at the goggles. You can tell that the way that he painted it makes it look like it has kind of a glossy, like a glass-like appearance. Awesome. And the last of Mike's DC figures that he made for me is Jade. Now, this is from an Amikami. I'm not sure if you guys remember that DC did a manga series with their figures called Amikami. And I had a few made up. Mike did this one for me, Jade. Kind of dig the kind of bell-bottom look to her costume. This came from a statue. This image here. They haven't done a new Jade in a while. This is from the War of Light set. That's what the base that I've got her on. Tilt her, give you a little better look. He's got the manga-like look on her face. See the larger eyes. I mean, they're closed, but they are a larger look on the eyes. Smaller mouth expression. Pretty neat. Alright, we'll move up to the next one. This was the first figure, DC figure, I had done by Goldie Hawn. Wonder Girl, Cassie Sandsmark. This was from an Amikami statue also. Give it a look back here. Goldie did a great job with this. I like the colors. The colors are vibrant. Almost like, I mean, it's like a comic book figure popping straight out of the book onto a Heroclix base. They haven't done a new Wonder Girl in a while, so this is from the Teen Titans set. Hoping we see a new one soon. And again, with the Amikami eyes, the manga type eyes, they're squared out or a little bit larger. So once Goldie did that for me, I was hooked. Goldie was my man. It had been like about, gosh, 3 years between the time Mike stopped making them and I found Goldie. Once I found him, though, I've been inundating him with all sorts of requests. There's another Amikami. This is, oh, excuse me, this is not Amikami. This is Bombshells, DC Bombshells set. This is Wonder Woman. And I've got her on a Bombshell base. The DC Bombshells base from Harley Quinn set. This is like the Yes We Can kind of look. I think this was from a, it originally was a comic book cover, but they did make a statue of it, and I think that's where I sent the images to Goldie to make these. I like the highlights on the boot. See the trimming on the boots there. The kind of rough and rustic look on her gauntlets there. That's a good looking figure. See from the top there's her bandana. It's got the red star on it. Sorry for the shakiness. This should give you a topside view of all of these two. And we'll go back to Wonder Woman. Next up we got Big Barda. This is an Amikami figure. Got it from a statue, the image from a statue. She's got a parademon stomping on his head. She's happy to do it. I like the statue that I got this from had the, you see, has the, almost looks like he missed a spot, but that's actually like a battle damage on her armor there. There's a couple spots where she's got battle damage. Now, the thing that impresses me most is right there on her hip. That's actually a tattoo of Darkseid. And Goldie was able to take that image from the statue I sent him and make it tiny, tiny, tiny little tattoo of Darkseid. Freaking awesome. You see the tread on her boots. Good looking figure. Next up we have Mira. Mira's another one of the bombshell figures. Had, I think, 2 or 3 more that I had made. I was going to do a Black Canary, the one with her singing on the microphone, and like literally 2 days before Goldie was going to start on the Black Canary one, DC showed a preview of the same image, so we went with something else. You can see the fish scale armor on Mira here. It's supposed to be like her look on a beach day, a little bit windy, her hat blowing off, and her trying to keep it on top of her head. Now this one was from, the image I think was from a statue as well. And Goldie was able to replicate it into Heroclix size. I love the red hair. Beautiful striking colors. I like how I was able to make her bathing suit almost look like an armor. Alright, next up, Huntress. Now this was also from Kotobukiya statue, like Catwoman's was. There we go. Focus, focus. I like using her with the Power Girl, World's Finest type of thing. I like the gargoyle he did there. Look at that. That cool looking. Almost looks like a Skeksis. Look at the wild hair that he did. Great looking figure. The cape flowing. The detail on the armor, and on her utility belt. And I've got her on a WizKids exclusive. They haven't really done a more recent version of Huntress, so I'm hoping we'll see something new from WizKids with that figure. Next is Harley Quinn, one of 2 Harley Quinns I have. This was the first one I had made, or I had commissioned from Goldie. Look at the striking colors, the blue and the red. Even down to the gun holster, one blue, one red. This one was from I think it was Sideshow Collectibles statue. See behind her, she's got her little cape on. Very rarely do you see her with a little cape, but I had it on this image. And then she's got her knives behind her, ready to pounce. We have the detail on the guns, the belt. And the collar of the cape there, that's kind of neat how he did that, made it get that ruffle look. Little ponytails, hairbands holding up the ponytails, neat stuff. Next up is Zatanna. There's a little bunny rabbit. Happy Easter, everybody. This was from I think this was from a Kodabukaya statue as well. She's holding her old top hat there. Even got detail down to the fishnet stockings. Spin her around a little bit. There we go, John. We'll just set you down there, buddy. A little tail flip on her coat. The detail on her hair and the gloves. Look at that look on her face. Perfect. Just a good looking figure. Nice, huh? Come on, focus. There we go. A little red rose. The detail on her shirt. Good stuff. Next up we have Red Hood. Got him on a Regenesis Red Hood dial. The guns are awesome. All those little straps and such. Look at that cool bat symbol. Yeah, this is one of the newer ones that Goldie did for me, and it's beautiful. I like using him with a Outlaws team, him and Starfire and what's her name? Artemis. I don't have a Bizarro, or so I put him on there. I like the original Red Hood and the Outlaws with him and Starfire and Red Arrow, but they haven't made or Arsenal, but they haven't made a new Arsenal figure in a while. So I just have to go with what I have. Alright, next up is Batgirl. This is from a Amakami figure. Look, she's kind of like a vampire type thing where she's coming out of the smoke there, or her cape at the bottom. She's kind of stitched into her costume. If you look at the legs and on the sides of her ribs, it's almost like stitching. And on the mask as well. Oh, I just noticed these are falling down. There we go. Almost forgot her little bats. Nice, huh? There we go. All right. So she's got her little bat buddies in the back there. Spin it around a little bit. Give you a look. Utility belt. He's even got the bat symbol on her belt there in gold.